Hello and welcome to the May edition of the Redwood Real Estate Report. I'm Ben Larson with Larson Home Loans.
And I'm Annalise von Borstel with Hyperion Humboldt Realty.
And here we are in year 2 of the podcast.
Hard to believe we made it.
We were just talking about how we've been pretty consistent, and our viewers are appreciating it. So thank you guys for tuning in. And you guys know where you can find us. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. So hit us up. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share our content. And give us comments,
Please.
on things you'd like to see or what you like or don't like about the podcast. We'd like to hear it all. Jumping in, we'll go to our keys of the month. I think you mentioned you had a lot to talk about, so I'm just going to get mine out of the way and let you take it away.
I'll be curious what you have to share because, there might be some parallels.
Yeah, absolutely. There always is. There always is. I'm going to kick it off with my rate comparison. First thing we like to touch on, we're going to do March versus April of 2026. For the month of March, we kicked off the month at a 6% rate. The mid-month went to 6.22. The end of the month, we finished off at 6.38. And what we don't like to see is we had the low at the beginning of the month and the high at the end of the month. We like to see the opposite. We like to see a downward trend. March was a very strong upward trend throughout the month. So moving into April, we kicked off the month at a 6.46% interest rate. The mid-month was 6.3. And the end of the month was 6.3. Now, the low on April 23rd was 6.23, and the high, April 2nd, 6.46. So here we're getting into a little bit of a stabilization, maybe a new normal with mortgage rates. It's hard to predict the market, obviously. There's a lot going on in the world that's having an impact on all things throughout the economy. But again, we saw the high at the beginning, and then we finished off at 6.3. And again, folks, this is the 30-year average with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, so keep that in mind. So that's the rate comparison. My second key of the month is there are some major mortgage guideline updates. They apply more to metropolitan areas, to larger cities. Most of them are about larger condo complexes of 10 units or more. But now they're doing a forced evaluation of the financial health of an HOA. So there's some HOAs around here, but they're going to check for reserves, make sure they're meeting their requirements. They lowered the threshold for getting insurance on properties to the actual cash value as opposed to what they call fair market value. That's kind of confusing terms, but basically it lowers the threshold for insurance requirements, making it more affordable for insurance on condos or HOA type properties, which is a good thing. Regarding that, I'll keep it light and just say condos or HOAs became more financeable, but sometimes harder to qualify because they're going to put more scrutiny on the financial health of the condo or the HOA group. So that's something to keep an eye out for. So yeah, something that goes along with that is there's more paperwork that's going to be required of if you're in an HOA. So keep that in mind. There's going to be some additional requirements that your lender is going to need to approve that HOA project. My third key of the month is a shifting in how loans are structured. We're seeing a shift from waiting on rates to structuring around rates. So as rates moved from, around 6% in March all the way to the mid sixes in April, there's a noticeable shift in how deals are getting structured. There's more seller concessions being negotiated. There's an increase in temporary buy downs, like 2 1s and 1 0s, and I'll give you an example of those. And there's some movement back towards ARMs, actually. I actually closed the first ARM in the last month that I've done in a few years. Buyers are focusing more on what their monthly payment is versus what the rate is. So typically now they're coming to a lender, they're saying, here's what I'm comfortable with my monthly payment. Here's what I can budget. Can you make that work in this price range? And then we try to find ways to make that work. Hopefully, all those people doing rate buy downs, whether it's for a 2-year or a 3-year buy down, hopefully we can refinance them in that window and get them at a lower, more affordable payment. But that's a great way to use seller credits. Right. Is rate buy downs.
I've been seeing a lot more of that too, and interestingly, ARMs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we're seeing that. It's I think people have given up on waiting on the rate, and they're trying to structure around it. So let me give you a real world example. If you do a buy down, let's say your rate's 6.5%. And we'll use a 2-1 buy down for this example. Year one, if you do a 2-1 buy down, your rate's going to be not 6.5, but 4.5. And then year two, it would go up to 5.5. And then after the end of the second year, you'd be back to your locked in rate at 6.5%. So if you can refinance in that window, you may end up never actually paying that 6.5% interest rate. And you can use the seller concession to pay for that a
Hmm.
lot of times. So something cool, and
Yeah.
definitely mention that to your realtors and they can help you work on that.
I love those real world examples.
Yeah, of course. All right, Annalise, that's my 3 keys of the month.
So I would like to welcome our special guest, Leah Larson, who's joined us for this segment, which is my mortgage keys of the month. Um, and so I'll just get right into it because I do have quite a bit. So I've said in previous episodes this year that we had a strong start to the year, but April's definitely proven to be a bump in the road. Things are pretty flat overall, but in some areas we're seeing significant shifts. So I'll kick off with some of the good news for the market. The inventory index is still down both for the year to date as well as compared with last March. However, it is up from last month from about 4.25 in March to 4.45 months in April. And I think it might be a common assumption that the inventory index would go up because inventory's gone up. It's that time of year between last month and April, but that's actually not the case. Active inventory is down very slightly. So, what accounts for that increase in the inventory index must come down to the rate of sales slowing slightly. However, we are still in a seller's market overall. Last year, and we've talked about this, the number of homes sold over $1 million hit a record. But this year, things are looking a little different. The number of $1 million and more homes sold is down 23%, while the number of homes sold under 300,000 is up 19%.
Hmm.
But that shift isn't really being reflected in the relatively flat median home price of 412,000 year to date compared with last year's 408,000. So it's a good reminder that
So it's actually up.
the median home price is yeah, it's up
Okay.
slightly. It's pretty flat though, and that's for Humboldt overall. But it's a good reminder that it's always worth exploring what average and median actually means because the outliers and clusters can leave out the whole story. Right, Leah?
She agrees.
So here's where things are starting to look a little bit different from the start of this year. April's median sale price in Arcata was 460,000, which is down nearly 40% from last year's 745,000, and that is with the same number of total sales. The year to date difference is also down about 13.5%. Active inventory is down across nearly every price
Hmm.
range, but remarkably, it is down 76% in homes priced between 500,000 and 600,000.
Wow.
McKinleyville's median sales price is also down 15.5% compared with last April and down 8.5% year to date. But McKinleyville is in no danger of flipping to a buyer's market with an inventory index of 1.68, though that's been trending up for 4 straight months now. Fortuna has the highest inventory index it's seen since August last year at 3.94 months, and the median sale prices have fallen about 1.5% year to date.
We had such an outlier year last year with the high value properties selling. I
Yeah.
wonder how much of that drop, um, in median and average in McKinleyville is due to that. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see the high value property sales, and compare that.
Yeah, definitely would love to dive into some of the more specific things, but we only have so much time on the Redwood real estate report, which, if you want to dive into that more deeply with me and Ben, please reach out. Let's have a one-to-one. So that's our major markets. There's not a lot of bright spots in the report this month, but overall averages, medians, both April to April as well as year to date show a generally flat market overall in Humboldt. So now to the market share report. In total, Humboldt had 82 sales in April, which is up slightly from March, but down 13 compared with last April. And again, the median sold price was $430,000 in Humboldt. Eureka had 21 sales.
21.
And that's 25.6% of the market with a median sold price of $440,000. Arcata with 9 sales and a median home price of $460,000 had 11% of the market. McKinleyville had 11 sales and 13.4% of the market and a median home price of $435,000. Fortuna had 7 sales with 8.5% of the market and a median home price of $425,000. And so these 4 markets, they account for 60% of the total market. But if you're watching the market in one of our more rural communities, again, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to give a full market analysis specific to your unique property and situation. So those are my market keys of the month. Leah, what do you got? Huh?
Huh.
No? All right. Well, thank
She's
you.
at a loss for
I
words.
think she's
That was
contributing in
so
her way.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Annalise. You always have great insight into all the local markets, and I love how you break it down by geographical area. I think that's key insight. That's really important because not only is Humboldt a micro market, but there's micro markets amongst our market. So that's really important.
No, thank you. Yeah, there's just so many smaller markets that I'd love to analyze a little bit deeper. But again, with only so much time on the Redwood Real Estate Report, I think these 4 markets are a really good reflection of overall what's going on in Humboldt.
What?
I'm going to get into our listing of the month now, and that is 1480 Myrtle Avenue. This is a commercial and residential building, so you can create some passive income as an investment property, or you can live upstairs in the very spacious 4-bedroom apartment. It's about 1,200 square feet up there, and then you can run your business or businesses out of the 2 commercial spaces downstairs.
You said it's 4 bedrooms
Upstairs is 4 bedrooms.
Wow.
One of them has definitely been used as a bedroom, but could be a more common area.
Okay.
This is a Victorian, so the layout is a little bit flexible, but it's currently being used as a 4-bedroom with a common area in the center, the kitchen, and then a deck off the back as well. So residential upstairs, 2 commercial spaces downstairs, and it's principally permitted for a variety of possibilities and has historically been used for a number of things, including an antique shop, a game store, and it's currently a massage studio. So again, that's 1480 Myrtle Avenue in Eureka, and we are listed at $450,000.
I like that one. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have someone that might be interested in that.
Well, send them my way. I would love to show them. It's a really special property. I'm going to focus on some community events that the Association of Realtors is hosting this month because, there is a lot.
I wonder what those could be.
Well, there's quite a few. I'll start with the candidate forums that the Association of Realtors is hosting. First off, on May 12th, we're going to be hosting a district supervisor forum, and that'll be for District 4 and District 5, both of which are going to be on the ballot in June. Don't forget to vote. And so again, that's May 12th. That'll be from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock at the Humboldt Association of Realtors offices in Eureka. Registration is required, so don't miss out. We'll also be live streaming those. And then again, a candidate forum on May 18th. That's going to be for the assessor position. And as we know, we have one of our candidates in the room here, Ben Larson, is going to be on the ballot for assessor.
I'm very appreciative to the association hosting that, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great event. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, as you know, and I'll just mention to our audience, the assessor position has a huge impact on our real estate market and our property values. So I think everyone at the Association of Realtors is really looking forward to hearing what the candidates have to say about their positions and what they think about the role and what it can do for our community. So that'll be again May 18th at the Association of Realtors from 6 to 8 o'clock, and registration is required. And then also, the Humboldt Association of Realtors is hosting an informational meeting with partners at the county building and planning department, as well as Fish and Wildlife and the Water Board, to help people navigate the process of dealing with abandoned cannabis grows. And that's going to be May 13th. Also at the Humboldt Association of Realtors from 6 to 8 o'clock, and registration is required. So we got our candidate forums, supervisors May 12th, assessor May 18th, and then the cannabis forum on May 13th. So those are my community events that I wanted to highlight. Ben, what have you got?
Well, May is bike month. So if you didn't know,
good.
get out there,
Nice.
ride your bike. The weather's getting nice. There's a couple key events, but one I want to highlight for Bike Month is May 16th at Jefferson Community Park from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So families, younger crowd, and environmentally conscious people, if that's your crew, then get out to Jefferson Park on May 16th at 11 a.m. Other than that, the farmers markets are really livening up this time of year. Of course, Arcata goes year round, but they're really hitting their peak right around this time of year and into June. So make sure you get out there, have a good time with the family. There's live music, good food. Of course, Arts Alive, all the events in May, they really start to get more lively. The weather's nicer. So just make sure you're checking your local community calendars and getting out and checking things out this month.
Hey, Ben, do you know when Friday night markets start? I just can't wait.
I want to say the 22nd or 23rd.
Oh, so this month, though.
This month.
Okay,
The
that's
end of the
what I
month.
wanted
End
to
of the
know.
month. Friday night
I
markets
love a Friday
kick
night
off,
market.
and it's going to be a big year. I think they really hit their stride the last couple years, and this year's going to be really, really good. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us on the May edition of the Redwood Real Estate Report. I'm Ben Larson with Larson Home Loans.
And I'm Annalise von Borstel with Hyperion Humboldt Realty. And this is Leah Larson.
This is Leah Larson signing off. Leah, can you look at the camera and say bye-bye? Can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was perfect. Thank you, everybody, so much. We really appreciate you.